Hello again and welcome to Open the Book. Now, a lot of the Open the Book stories are difficult to do just by yourself, even when you have chances to change costumes and everything. So I've tried to choose a few which aren't too hard to do in that way. And the first one is about something that got lost, and I'm going to do another one next week about another lost thing. I don't know, I wonder, have you ever got lost? I remember when I was just little, probably about 4 years old, and I went to the supermarket with my mum. I think it was Marks and Spencer's, that's my memory anyway. And while we were in the shop, I got away. I left where my mum was and had a little wander. I was found by a shop assistant, probably crying, I think I was, and wanting to find my mum. And the shop assistant took me to the manager, and the manager announced over the tannoy, the public address system, "Will Mrs. Wilderspin please come and fetch Stephen from the manager's office?" And in a bit my mum arrived at the manager's office looking flustered and upset and a bit annoyed actually. And she came and collected me, and I was very glad to see her, but she did look a bit annoyed, and I think she was embarrassed by it all. But I like to think that because she got something really precious to her back, that's me, that she was actually really happy inside and very relieved. In today's story, the lady loses something that's very precious to her, and then she finds it again. So we're going to open the book at the story of the lost coin. "Let me tell you another story," said Jesus to the crowd. "Once upon a time, there was a woman who worked very hard. She worked so hard, in fact, that she managed to save 10 days' pay, and she tucked it away in one of the safest places in the house." "I'll just go and count my coins. Come on, my beauties. Aha. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wonderful. Let's put them all back again. Back in the drawer. She knew them all by sight. The shiny ones and the dull ones, the smooth ones and the dented ones. Then one day, she took them out to count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But she never got to 10 because one was missing. The woman looked again inside her little box. "Ah, it's the little silver one," she said. "It's gone." And what do you think she did? Did she say to herself, "Well, I've got 9 coins left. Who cares if one is lost?" Of course not. She wanted that last coin as much as the rest. So she lit a lamp and started to look. "I must find my missing coin." And finally, she found it, nestling in a dark corner. The woman shouted, "Hooray!" Then she picked up the coin and danced around the room. "Come to my house," she called to her neighbours. "Come to my house," she called to her friends. "My coin was lost, and now it's found. We're going to have a party." "And that is just what the angels do," said Jesus, "when someone who's far away from God turns around and does what is right." Well, that's a great story, isn't it? The angels in heaven really are very happy and shout hooray and have a party when someone turns around and stops doing what's wrong and turns to God and does what's right. Isn't that wonderful that that's how the angels in heaven and God himself thinks about us when we start to do what's right and stop doing what's wrong? I just want you to think for a little while now about something that you know you've done wrong and you want to say sorry to God for. If there isn't anything, that's fine. And now I'm going to say a prayer. And if you want to make it your prayer, say Amen at the end. Dear God, thank you that whenever we do something wrong and come back to you and say sorry, you always forgive us, and it makes you very happy. Help us to remember to say sorry to you. Amen. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week with another Lost Things story. I wonder what it could be.